Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a video for the 10 things I love most about my R32. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so the number one thing that I love about my R32 is the sound of the car. The VR6 motor, it makes just a really distinct noise that I love. When I originally had VR6 GTI, it made a similar sound, and that VR6 motor just sounded so good that I couldn't get away really from it. That's why I ended up buying an R32, that and also for the all-wheel drive factor of it. But I loved it so much, I stuck with that kind of motor. So it just gets really addicting once you guys hear it and you get used to that kind of sound. The next thing I love about my car are the seats that come with the R32. These are the stock European seats that come with the car, so that's like a big deal for, Volkswagen Audi guys. But they're Koenig seats, which are really, really comfortable. They have super nice bolstering in them. They have the R logo stitched into the seats. This is the only R32 model that they actually went with the European style seats that actually came to the US. So I love that aspect that this car actually has. The Mark V R32s, they didn't bring the European Recaros to the US. So that was a big bummer, and that was definitely a deciding factor when buying this kind of car. So I love these seats. They're so comfortable. I'll show you guys what they actually look like and stuff like that. Alright guys, so these are the actual seats right here. You can see right there's the name of the seats. Overall, I'd say these are super comfortable. You have the R logo, like I said, stitched in the seat there. Super nice bolstering. So these seats are actually pretty big for the car, so to get into the rear, it's pretty annoying, and there's also really no leg room in the rear. But like I said, these seats are really comfortable and they really hold you in tight. So as many of you guys know, my car is supercharged, and this is the next thing that I love about my car. I love having my car supercharged. It's just very different from what a lot of the other guys in the Volkswagen Audi community actually do. It's not something that you see every single day. And when I go to shows, people are like, oh wow, that's a supercharger. Like, how'd you fit that in there? And those kind of stuff. So it's cool to actually explain, like, oh, it's a, VF Engineering supercharger kit. It runs 8 pounds of boost. You actually really get to talk to people and explain what you've done to your car. So I really love that aspect of the supercharger. Also, the supercharger is a lot different than a turbo setup. It's a different power band, and I love the linearness of the supercharger. The way the supercharger works is the power builds as you go up in the RPM range. So I love that aspect for it. And also you get the supercharger whine, which you don't get from like a turbo. You get the blow-off noises and all that stuff from a turbo. But the supercharger, you get a really cool whining noise, which you actually don't get to hear all that often. So I really love that aspect of the supercharger. Alright, so the next thing that I love about my car is the reliability of it. So overall, for a Volkswagen, they're known to, break down a lot and stuff like that. But over the years, my car's been pretty reliable. I've actually only really done normal maintenance for it. Like I said before, all the stuff that I've really paid more for has been me modifying the car. So like I said, like before with my airlift, the supercharger kit, all that stuff was extra. So I wouldn't really put that as the maintenance for the car. Overall, the normal maintenance for the car, I've just done oil changes. I recently just did the water pump on it, but those have been mostly the main things I've done to the car over the years. So overall, I think the car's been pretty reliable, and kind of goes against what normal or a lot of other people say about Volkswagens. So the next thing I love about my car is the rarity of the R32. Originally in 2004, they made one of five, or this is one of 5,000 from 2004. And for the red, the Tornado Red, the color my car is, they only actually imported 500 of them to the U.S. So overall, this is a pretty rare car. You don't really see them around that much. If you go to European shows, you'll see them around more often. But on the road and driving around, you don't really see an R32 all that much. They're more like a sought-after car in the Volkswagen Audi community. So for that reason, that I do love the car for that reason. It kind of makes you feel like a little bit different than everyone else when you go to a car show and stuff like that. So the next thing I love about my R32 is how well the car actually holds its value. So like I said before, originally the car came out in 2004, and when it came out in 2004, its MSRP was around $29,000, which back then that was a good chunk of change for a small hot hatchback basically. When I bought the car 3 years ago, I paid 18,000 for the car, and that was with 45,000 miles on it. So I got a pretty good deal on this car. But today, the car, you could still find them for sale for around that same price. So I'd say the value for them, over the last 13 years hasn't really depreciated all that much, which is a really good thing when you're actually looking to buy a car. So definitely a thing to check out when you actually look at these cars. If you can afford one, they might be a good purchase, and you can actually drive the car around for a couple years, and you actually won't really lose too much of that value of the car. So the next thing I love about my car is the all-wheel drive system in the car. It's a Haldex all-wheel drive system. So when this car came out in '04, there was really only the front-wheel drive GTIs, and then they had the R32. It was the first introduction of a hot hatchback really for Volkswagen with an all-wheel drive system. For me, I love it just because it adds a little bit more grip in like snowy conditions in like upstate New York or when it's wet. It just helps out a little bit. Also, if you're trying to put down more power, the all-wheel drive system helps with that situation too. Like I said, also, this is a first generation Haldex in the car. It's not maybe the best all-wheel drive system. Like the Mark 7 Golf Rs, they have a better Haldex system in them. They've improved them over the years. Or if you want even a better all-wheel drive system than that, you can go to like the Quattro system from Audi. That's even a more superior setup than this. But for a hot hatchback, this is a very good setup. It helps put down the power. And for me, it suffices everything that I need it to do. So for me, this was a perfect setup overall. Alright guys, so the next thing that I love about my R32 might surprise you, but actually it's the miles per gallon that I get out of the car. Even with the supercharger on the car and I'm driving on the highways, I can get about 28 miles to the gallon with this setup, which to me honestly I was shocked when I saw that. I did not expect that at all, but mostly I feel like that is due to the tune I have on the car. It's not really a super aggressive tune. But yeah, with 28 miles to the gallon, that's a really good, I think, number for a all-wheel drive V6 supercharged car. With my VR6 GTI, it was a front-wheel drive car. I was getting 32 miles to the gallon, so that's only 4 miles an hour or 4 miles per gallon difference, really, from that car to this car. So overall, that's a big factor for me that I love about this car. In the future, with the plans that I plan to do to this car, that's definitely going to drop. But for now, that's perfect for what I need to drive around here for school. City, when you drive around in the city of Ithaca or just city driving in general, the miles per gallon does drop. It usually drops around to like 17 miles to the gallon. So that's probably where it'd be more comfortable at. But that's just a rough estimation of what you guys can actually see from this kind of setup on your car. The next thing that I love about my car is the look of the car. I love the MK4 or the Mark IV platform of the car, of like the GTIs, Volkswagens, and the R32s. I love this body style. I don't know what I love about it so much. I just love the look of it. It's not too boxy and it's not too bubbly. I think it's like right in the middle of the more bubblier body styles or the older kind of boxy styles of the cars. So for me, this is definitely the body style that I love, and I'm happy that I got this body style for the car. So for me, I love the way it looks when it sits on the ground, aired out. I think it looks amazing. Um, it's just a great overall car, and also a lot of the parts for the car, the Mark IV body style, are interchangeable. So like a GTI front fender would be interchangeable with this. If you want, some people also take the Jetta fronts and completely swap them onto like a GTI or an R32, just to give it a little different look to the front of the car. So it's a pretty interchangeable platform, which I love that aspect, and it's cool that people swap motors, like they swap an R32 motor into a Jetta or into a GTI. They all-wheel drive swap a Jetta, or they'll like do stuff like that, which makes it really cool that they're interchangeable and that people actually get out there and try to do that kind of stuff to their cars. So the last thing that I love about my R32 is that it's manual. This year, the Mark IV R32s, like I said, um, they come only in a manual, and I love that they do. It's kind of, to me, I feel like more like a driver's car. With the Mark V R32s, they didn't put a manual in the car. They only put a DSG, in that car. And for me, I just felt like that kind of took away more from the driving experience of the R32. You want to actually hear that motor rev out. You want to hear that rasp from the VR motor. And the manual just kind of, I feel like, allows you to do that more. You're more willing to downshift, to hold the gears longer, and really hear that motor whine. So for me, that's personally why I love, also the Mark IV, is because of that manual aspect of the car. So to me, that's great. That makes a wonderful car. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you guys liked the video, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in another video.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.